Good morning / good evening, Nisarg. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Paula. Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. You do have a community of UiPath followers. You've been very active on social media with connecting the dots with RPA, helping people learn and be educated. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why your passion is this area of expertise?
Thank you. First of all, I'm so glad that we have got USN certified, and I'm really excited to get USN certified soon. So this is a wonderful opportunity that we have got. And I will introduce about myself as I usually introduce in every channel. So my name is Nisarg Kadam. I am UiPath MVP. I am senior consultant in WonderBotz, which is an awesome opportunity that I have got recently. And I am 2 times UiPath Global Hackathon winner. I am UiPath community moderator for a Mumbai location in India. I am also a RPA influencer where I have been running a YouTube channel of my own with successful 3,000 plus subscribers and 200K plus views. And I have been also doing RPA sessions and technical sessions all over the colleges and educating more and more students, and also those who needs the jobs in RPA after their second innings, so HSI sort of jobs. So I have been doing all this a lot. That's all about.
Quite a resume, and it's all very much centered around RPA, robots, and kind of connecting value to customers. So so you talked about your community, right? Your the community that you've been part of, and being part of MVP, I think really gave you visibility in the UiPath community. So tell me a little bit about what made you start that. How did you even decide to enter a hackathon? What was the steps? What were the process involved in you getting involved in that?
So honestly speaking, I love to talk about this part a lot because when I started my career after college, I was not RPA developer. So I joined a company as an automation developer, and it was based on the Selenium automation tool where I had to code Java using Selenium. One day I came across one of my friend, and it was like around 1 or 2 months of my industry career, and he told me about UiPath, and he said, whatever that you're writing 400, 500 lines of codes in Java. You can do that in just 10 to 15 activities in UiPath. And I was like, no, seriously? So he was like, yeah, you can do that. And he just showed me just a small robot. And the day I started working on RPA, I literally automated my entire work that I used to do on the daily basis. I automated my entire work, and then the rest of the time which I was getting, so I was using RPA for my own, the rest of the time which I was getting, I was studying RPA. Nobody taught me UiPath. I learned entire UiPath right from the academy of UiPath and right from the community of UiPath. And that's what me motivated a lot, that what I have gained from community, what I have achieved to become RPA developer, my entire career which I have got, is just because of the UiPath community, which helped me a lot to get at the moment where I'm right now. So I thought, what I have learned from the community, let's give it back. And when you give it back, it 100 times comes back to you again.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it
Absolutely.
motivated me a lot.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I had no idea that little piece of the story, but that's great that you felt a sense of a sense of obligation to give back to the community that sort of got you excited about, this passion project. And you're so happy every day that you show up to work. So, it really is nice that you were able to kind of pivot into that, and shout out to your friend that sort of showed you the way initially. So let's talk about your YouTube channel just a little bit, because, you tag me on stuff on LinkedIn, and then next thing I know, there's like 700 likes and all these different views. I can only imagine how many people are continuously following you. So why is it important for you to keep up, the content creation on your own and make sure that you're constantly putting out new stuff? So how is it that you think that through? And why are you so committed? How is it, what is it that helps with, and what is the thought process there behind having a continuous content stream?
So what motivated me to do this is, first thing, a responsibility. So when I really felt responsible that if I have learned from community, I have to give it back in some or the other way. And I felt that, I'm a good speaker, so I can create content on YouTube videos. And I just initiated this long back, like 1.5 years back. And I initiated that with no expectations. I just initiated with what I have learned, what I can build, if somebody else also can build, because UiPath has already built a content on their academy, but something apart from that, something like building a bot, something like in the expertise of AI. And when I started exploring this AI, machine learning, and how that integrates with RPA, and that area nobody has touched yet. With that, when I started doing that, and over the period of 6 to 7 months, I got an award from UiPath community saying that fastest contributor award. And also I got second award called as fastest adapter of new technology -AI center. So that was the biggest moment for me, and I felt really awesome at that point. And since then, it has been like every week I have to post at least one video, to make myself up to date in the market. And the secret behind it is that I study a lot to create these videos. So I keep on studying just because of these videos regularly, and I keep myself updated. So that's the secret behind it.
Well, and that's completely our methodology here at WonderBotz. Everybody is trained, everybody is certified, on all the platforms that we're using, all the adjacent technologies that we plug in, to RPA, because it's so important to stay ahead of the game. Technology changes too quickly for you to stay stagnant. So we're so blessed to have you, to have somebody that's encouraged and motivated to continue learning, because I think that's the aim of the game in general. That's why WonderBotz is great. That's why we win awards every year, because of our people and our talent, being so motivated to continuously learn. So that's fantastic. And the other thing that I noticed, I was kind of poking around your YouTube channel, is that you have an entire section sort of dedicated to how do you interview for RPA, and how do you crack the career, of RPA. And often we'll see with client sites, that you have a lot of people that used to be in business, right? Or an analyst of some sort, or perhaps even a controller or a financial analyst. And more they're pivoting into understanding automation as well, because it's becoming so much more mainstream, and that most organizations, by 2025 are going to have at least some kind of capability in UiPath or, Blue Prism or AA or one of the major players. I mean, and that's staggering to think that, every enterprise would have it. So naturally, there's been a shift in the market, looking for RPA talent, looking for automation talent. And you've been really, really great in kind of contributing to that thought leadership of what sort of skill sets, what sort of interview answers, right? What kind of things do you need to know to be able to do that? So tell us a little bit about where that started, and where you get some of those aggregated ideas. How many times have you interviewed for RPA, to be able to kind of put that out there? And what do you think? Do you think that a lot of business users are going to be moving into more technologically inclined roles?
Yes. So how I initiated this series, first of all. So when I was in my first organization, when I started my career, I was the first person to initiate UiPath in my batch. So there used to be some batches where people joined in a lot. So I was the first person to get started with UiPath. Most of the people were trained on automation anywhere. During that period, I was trained highly, and I was allocated to one project immediately. I worked as a developer. Within 1 year of time period, I got an opportunity to work as a leader. I did not expect that I would be a team lead in just 1 year of experience, and I became a leader of 1 year of experience. That project won award as a best technological award, given by a company, be given by clients. At that point, that company was using me as an interviewer right from the beginning to hire new technical people, to hire new talent in the company. And I was taking interviews right from then. Then I jumped into my second company. There was also so much of hiring was going on, and I was the first person to get started with UiPath again. So it was like second time I was starting UiPath at some company, and I felt really great because I love to be initiator at some point. So that's when I started taking interviews. And during those all period, I realized people have learned a lot, but they still lack a little bit touch on how can we approach the RPA interview, because still the coding mentality, development mentality is a little bit different than the interview. And suddenly some of people started reaching me out. So I took this huge camp where there were 235 people whom I taught RPA right from scratch. It was 8 days of crash course, and I did it entirely for the community. Now, the most ranked question in that entire series was how we can apply for RPA interviews and how should we write our resume, right? And that's when I realized, this is the topic which I should talk about, because I have gained at least a little bit experience to talk about it confidently. Then I started talking about it and I got a really nice feedback. So that video is almost over 7,000, 8,000 views by now. People are daily reaching out to me with that video reference, and they're telling me, because of you, I got selected in this company, because of you, I got selected in that company, and that motivates me a lot. So eventually I kept creating videos. Now it's a series of 7 videos. And believe me, I have already listed down the futuristic videos of that series, and there are 20 videos upcoming in that specific series. So it's going to be huge, and people poke me daily. Upload a new video, man. Upload a new video. Where is the new video? So it's really interesting for me.